Um, okay, then today I wanted to talk about some cases of bugs that were found in history because we are actually chasing bugs here. So could be interesting to see which one happened in the past and how big they were and to which conclusion they could lead, maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure that it was the case all the time, but yeah. So let's start with the first actual case of bug that was found. Maybe you heard about it already. That was in September, 9th of September, 1947 in Harvard University in USA. The engineers there suddenly had a Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't have, I didn't prepare any sheets for that. I'm just gonna talk about it. So I don't need to share screen, I think. So if you want to keep the videos, you can. So yeah, in this case, in 1947, the engineers found a computer broken, or it was not functioning anymore. And when they started to inspect the hardware, they found an actual bug, a moth. That's an insect that was actually between the wires and had burned some stuff. So they actually picked that bug and put it in the logbook and wrote this famous sentence, first actual case of bug found. The main engineer responsible in this project was a woman, actually, that was named Grace Hopper. She's well known as a US mathematician and also a soldier in the US Army. But it's often alleged that this is the case that created the word bug for computer errors. But it's not actually, it seems to not be the case. This word bug was used to describe some malfunction in machines way earlier. Apparently, the first traces of this usage was from Thomas Edison's works in the 1870s, so long time before. But this event contributed to associate this word bug and also his counterpart debugging to computer science, which was less the case before. So that could lead us to think that maybe sometimes the bugs are in hardware and not only in software. Second case is the very famous Millennium bug, where I think you all heard of it. I don't have screen to share. So yeah, this bug is well known because it happened in the last century when it was time to switch to the new millennium, where many people feared that all the dates in computer systems that were coded on 2 digits would have an issue when going to the next millennium because switching to 1999 to 1900 instead of 2000. It was lighter than expected because many solutions were made before to prevent this incident by upgrading systems and software. There were still a few incidents that we could note. For example, for a case that I know in France, for the 1st of January 2000, we got the weather forecast of the year 19,100 because of some mixed in the fix and in the bug. So I would say that this would probably let us think that it could be good to write code that's easy to maintain, but also anticipate in the future to avoid huge refactoring later, saving some because this history of 2 years, 2-digit years was to save memory. But at the end, it cost billions of dollars to update all the systems later. So maybe the calculation is not always to the cheapest option, but maybe the one that's gonna resist the most in the time. Third case quickly is the Dahran Missile.
Which is actually a very important thing just for our daily work, right, Vincent?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, third case is a Dahran missile. That's an incident that happened in 1991 in February in a US base in Saudi Arabia. There was a first Gulf War, and suddenly a Iraqi missile hit the base and had some damage and killing some soldiers. And this base had a automated defense system that was supposed to intercept the missile by sending another missile. That's the best way to do. But it didn't work, and it didn't trigger at all, actually. And when they did the investigation, they realized that the system that runs this defense has been running for more than 100 hours straight. And they discovered that after each hour, the internal clock of the system was taking a slight delay of few milliseconds from the real time. And after that many hours, it happened to be something like a third of a second. And combined with the speed of the missile, that the battery of defense had to follow, they realized that the defense system was more than 600 meters late when tracking the missile. So the automated system didn't see the missile at all, actually, and didn't trigger the defense and the counter response because it was too late because of this delay. So in that case, I would see something like maybe good idea to keep system in good health, maybe reboot from time to time, and keep the hardware clean and functional, because in that case, that's really the only matter that was in cause in this incident. Another one that's well known is this incident in space in 1998 when the Mars Climate Orbiter that was launched to study the atmosphere and climate on planet Mars just exploded or got destroyed, getting closer to the planet. This one is also kind of known. Basically, the main issue here is the probe went too close to the planet and got destroyed by the atmosphere when it was not supposed to go so close, just because the controlling team on Earth was sending measurements and instructions using imperial units, the British system, miles, feet, inches. And the software calculation were made using metric system, kilometers, meters, and so on. So at the end, it was positioning error from almost 100 kilometers, which was lethal for the probe. So that would outline, I think, the importance of communication between people and between machines, and using the same codes, the same language, the same concepts that can avoid huge accidents. And this little last one that happened in 1996 on 4th of June in French Guiana, because it's about Ariane 5, this famous rocket. So they were sending it in space, but 30 seconds after ignition, the rocket started to disintegrate until complete explosion. So, of course, they had to investigate about the case, and they realized later that there was an issue during a numerical variable conversion, because they used 64 bits floating point variable, and they suddenly decided to convert it into a 16 bits signed integer, which cannot accept as much as the first one. So, and the system didn't resist this little error, so to say. And many error appeared in all the systems, and finally the rocket was unable to locate itself in the sky and get geolocalization correctly. So this security issue triggered the auto-destruction routine of the rocket for safety, technically. So it was kind of $370 million fireworks on that day, which is nice, but could have been avoided. So I think the good lesson from this one would be maybe knowing which data we deal with when we are writing and using variables and passing data through the program, because it's not always easy to know what is where. And yeah, that was for the 5 cases I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for your attention. Hope it was interesting enough.
Yeah, Vincent, very nice anecdotes about some historical bugs. I could have imagined a slide with just a cat showing, you know. But anyways, yeah, it's always nice to know where the word bug comes from, you know, as you told in the first story, and all the other examples. I think that are really nice anecdotes that show what a small bug can have, can cause a great yeah, explosion or whatever. Yeah, so thanks a lot. I think it all that we all have to keep an eye on all our bug writing, and yeah, always keep that in mind. Thanks a lot.